rocks, I got some justice shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket, don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
It is a building that first hosted football way back in 1966 as EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Oakland, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Oakland Raiders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 14 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. The numbers for Sanders last week, the hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
On second down, it's Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Wentz now on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it third down.
Hey, box truck.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. That'll be caught by Rodgers. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of the game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
On 2nd and 12, Carr. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage. And that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking is so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wentz. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On first down, Sanders. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. It's a second down run with Sanders. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons.
And that's caught inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Here we go.
They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. 23 yards on the play. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Hunter Renfrow, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Mike 7. Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. The Sanders has got it complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Now Wentz on 3rd down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Carr, that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now Carr. It's caught. Humphreys. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Sunday. Hey, echo. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Mike 20.
Wentz. Got a man open. It's Ross. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And that's complete to Sanders. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The Raiders swarm in and block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But we say it all the time, offense, defense, don't forget about special teams. Big punt block there.
And how many coaches have told us if we make a big play on special teams, if we find a way to score, whether it was on the play or later, 90+% of the time we win the game.
Just don't hold them to those numbers.
No, we haven't quantified it yet, but they believe it, and we have seen it happen many, many times in just that manner.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Is under review.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing his car on third down. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And McManus able to put it through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that will tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be from 49 yards out. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime, and we now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Flush to his right. Rodgers brings it in.
Let's go, folks.
They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line. From the red zone now, Wentz. That's caught. It's Eli Rogers. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Wentz into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5, past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. On 3rd down, Carr. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
14 yards there and an Eagle first down. So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Sanders. There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to have the hook up to Ross. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. They'll run with Sanders, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Wentz now to throw, and this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 7-yard touchdown grab as they are able to cut into that lead. Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Washington, and now they lead this ball game as well. Set to go here, 1st and 10. Now Carr. Throw left side complete. It's Jacobs. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27th. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Carr to throw. He gets it to Humphries. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Carr. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Carr now on 1st down. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Carr now to throw. Finding Williams once more, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. To throw is Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into a huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And a pass complete here to Sanders. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Wentz now on 1st down. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
Now this throw caught left side. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. They'll run. This is Brown. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
This is fielded at the goal line. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again. Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Once again, it's Jacobs. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. The objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Samson Ebukam in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. He'll look to throw.
It's another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just 1 more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Kill.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Hey, switch gears.
From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders.